Today in history. April 1st. Biblical events on April 1st, Anno Domini 33. According to one historian's account, Jesus Christ's Last Supper is held. The Last Supper is the final meal that, in the Gospel accounts, Jesus shared with his apostles in Jerusalem before his crucifixion. The Last Supper is commemorated by Christians, especially on Maundy Thursday. The Last Supper provides the scriptural basis for the Eucharist, also known as Holy Communion or the Lord's Supper. The first epistle to the Corinthians contains the earliest known mention of the Last Supper. The four canonical Gospels all state that the Last Supper took place towards the end of the week, after Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem, and then that Jesus and his apostles shared a meal shortly before Jesus was crucified at the end of that week. During the meal, Jesus predicts his betrayal by one of the apostles present, and foretells that before the next morning, Peter will thrice deny knowing him. The three synoptic Gospels and the first epistle to the Corinthians include the account of the institution of the Eucharist, in which Jesus takes bread, breaks it and gives it to others, saying, "This is my body given to you." The apostles are not explicitly mentioned in the account in 1 Corinthians. The Gospel of John does not include this episode, but tells of Jesus washing the feet of the apostles, giving the new commandment to love one another as I have loved you, and has a detailed farewell discourse by Jesus, calling the apostles who follow his teachings friends and not servants, as he prepares them for his departure. Scholars have looked to the Last Supper as the source of early Christian Eucharistic traditions. Others see the account of the Last Supper as derived from first-century Eucharistic practices described by Paul in the mid-50s. In 1826, Samuel Morey received a patent for a compressionless gas or vapor engine. An internal combustion engine is a heat engine, in which the combustion of a fuel occurs with an oxidizer, in a combustion chamber that is an integral part of the working fluid flow circuit. In an internal combustion engine, the expansion of the high temperature and high pressure gases produced by combustion applies direct force to some component of the engine. The force is applied typically to pistons, turbine blades, a rotor, or a nozzle. This force moves the component over a distance, transforming chemical energy into useful work. This replaced the external combustion engine for applications where weight or size of the engine is important. The first commercially successful internal combustion engine was created by Etienne Lenoir around 1860, and the first modern internal combustion engine was created in 1876, by Nicolaus Otto. The term internal combustion engine usually refers to an engine in which combustion is intermittent, such as the more familiar 4-stroke and 2-stroke piston engines, along with variants, such as the 6-stroke piston engine and the Wankel rotary engine. A second class of internal combustion engines use continuous combustion, gas turbines, jet engines and most rocket engines, each of which are internal combustion engines on the same principle as previously described. Firearms are also a form of internal combustion engine, though of a type so specialized that they are commonly treated as a separate category. In 1854, Charles Dickens' novel, Hard Times begins serialization in his magazine Household Words. Hard Times is the 10th novel by Charles Dickens, first published in 1854. The book surveys English society and satirizes the social and economic conditions of the era. Household Words was an English weekly magazine edited by Charles Dickens in the 1850s. It took its name from the line in Shakespeare's Henry V, familiar in his mouth as household words. On April 1, 1867, Singapore becomes a British Crown colony. Within the British Empire, a Crown colony or Royal colony was a colony administered by the government of the United Kingdom, the Crown. In 1873, the White Star steamer RMS Atlantic sinks off Nova Scotia, killing 547, in one of the worst marine disasters of the 19th century. SS Atlantic was a transatlantic ocean liner of the White Star Line that operated between Liverpool, United Kingdom, and New York City, United States. The Wrigley Company is an American chewing gum company, based in the Global Innovation Center in Goose Island, Chicago. It is wholly owned by Mars, Incorporated, and, along with Mars chocolate bars and other candy products, makes up Mars Wrigley Confectionery. It is the largest manufacturer and marketer of chewing gum in the world. The company was founded on April 1, 1891, in Chicago, Illinois by William Wrigley Jr. In 1935, India's central banking institution, the Reserve Bank of India, is formed. The Reserve Bank of India is India's central bank and regulatory body under the jurisdiction of Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and is responsible for the issue and supply of the Indian rupee and the regulation of the Indian banking system. It also manages the country's main payment systems, and works to promote its economic development. In 1979, Nickelodeon was launched in United States. Nickelodeon is an American pay television channel which was first tested on December 1, 1977, before nationally launching on April 1, 1979, as the first cable channel for children. In 2001, same-sex marriage becomes legal in the Netherlands, the first contemporary country to allow it. Same-sex marriage in the Netherlands has been legal since April 1, 2001. A bill for the legalization of same-sex marriage was passed in the House of Representatives by 109 votes to 33, on September 12, 2000, and by the Senate by 49 votes to 26, on December 19, 2000. The law took effect on 1 April, which made the Netherlands the first country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage. 2004, Google announces Gmail to the public. Gmail is a free email service developed by Google and started as a limited beta release on April 1, 2004, and ended its testing phase on July 7, 2009. By October 2019, Gmail had 1.5 billion active users worldwide. On This Day event is an educational project. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel.